Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at the new PGCert Moodle. So I'm going to be helping you get into the Moodle page, have a look around and see the different pages where the resources are kept, and then look at the different online activities that you're going to be undertaking as part of your course. What you might be aware of already is that BIM's currently overhauling its Moodle page. So you'll see from the URL at the top, we're not actually on the live Moodle site. We're on a test environment. So this is how the new BIM Moodle is going to look. It's very nice, very clean. It's a massive improvement in my eyes. But some of the links to our page I'm going to work on this version, so we'll do what we can. So the first thing that we're going to have to think about then is, as part of your PGCert course, you don't have access with your staff username and password to the PGCert. The reason for that is, as per GDPR and data protection regulations, we need you to have a dedicated kind of student login, right? So this is why you have your student email address, and the way that you're going to engage with the PGCert online is by using that. Now that's not the most easy thing for you to do, so it means you're going to have to juggle two different user accounts to Moodle. The one downside of Moodle at the moment is that you can't actually store two different usernames and passwords. So there are a couple of workarounds because, obviously we want you to be able to get into the Moodle as a course team. I actually have a little program that I download as part of my web browser called LastPass. This can save as many different usernames and passwords as you need. So actually, if I had multiple ones, they would all be coming down here, and I could just select every time I log in which one I want to log in as. You could also choose different web browsers and save them to each. You could use Safari for your staff login, maybe Firefox or Chrome for your student login. That works. Or the other thing you could do is save your student number, your student user account, and if you have the same password for both accounts, I know that's not the most secure, but it's easy. If you have the same password, you could actually just change the username every time you log in. And as you know, your BIM username is just your first and last names. So, in that case, that's the only thing that you would run the chance of forgetting is your own name. Don't think it's that likely. So, nonetheless, a couple of different ways that you could log in easily. And once you've logged in, the first thing that you're going to see is the BIM homepage. It's very nice, very clean, pretty. Doesn't have much to do with your PGCert. So the easiest way to get through to the PGCert pages is, of course, going to My Courses. And it's going to be quite simple here because on your student account, you are only going to be attached to the PGCert courses that you're a student on. So one of the fringe benefits here is that you won't actually have all of the other courses that you might teach. And the first place I'd recommend going is your homepage. So let's go through the PGCert Year 1 homepage in this case. And you'll see that the first thing that we encounter is this top navigation menu. So this is the same across all of the different module pages, course pages on the PGCert. And you'll see that highlighted here in pink, we're on the course homepage, and you have another two different module pages that you can visit. At this point, of course, the module 2 is greyed out. We can't actually get there because we're on a year 1 course and module 2 happens in year 2. So hopefully nice and simple. So the homepage itself it's where you're going to spend probably the least amount of your time studying. It's got the least interactive elements. And it's where all of the central information, core course documentation, key info, about our team, about tutorial booking, about wider resources. It's where all of that static information sits. So things like student support, things like checking up about the external examiner, when the kind of student rep forums happen. That's quite infrequent, and some of the guidance that you'll find on here probably won't apply to you during your study. So this is where all of that wider documentation about the course sits. I would go and look in more detail at some point about HEA Fellowship and about how that works and links through the course. Of course, we're going to be looking through that in quite some detail in sessions as well. I would also go here and download from the course documents section your PGCert handbook, the module guides for the modules that you're on, and any other kind of that information that you'll want. You might also want to have a look at the resources section. In there we've got all of the links to different reading libraries that you can access. So you get access to Sussex University's online library, which is fantastic. We've also got an internal PGCert library that we use, and that will have the majority of all the reading that we ask you to do on the course. So I'd have a look in here, I'd save some of those links, and for when you come to write up your assignments, there are some really good guides in there for academic writing, Harvard referencing, things like that. So that's the course homepage. Let's now go through to your module page. So if the homepage is where all of the static information sits, the module pages are where all of the interactive elements, your assessments, your teaching observations, it's where they're all going to sit. So you can see it's colour coded. So for each of the following sections, they're all going to be in this colour. It's the exact same colour code as your scheme of work and most other things that you're going to come across on the PGCert. So as I've said, you've got your academic assessments. There's a section here for guidance and submitting, a section for the ungraded teaching observations, the place where your blog is going to sit for all of your online discussion activity, and then also a section on your peer action learning sets. There's also a link to the PGCert library again, your timetable and the scheme of work. And we're going to finish then with a section for each of the 4 face-to-face workshops. So in this way we've endeavoured to create the module page in line with the scheme of work and hopefully taking you from start to finish with everything that you're going to need to interact with on the course. So if we scan through, you'll see again there's an overview of the module. This is contained in the handbook as well. There's a reminder and an overview of the structure of the year of the module that you're going to be taking. Obviously we're now sitting within this first workshop. We have another 3 face-to-face workshops to go before the final assessments, and in each of the BIM terms we're going to be doing some online blogging, discussion, reflection, participating in peer action learning and having developmental teaching observations. Our section on assessment has the brief for all the assessments that you're taking this year, as well as links to the module guides and other handy supportive guides for writing, completing your assessment, and of course the actual submission itself. Our observation section will have information about the process of booking observations, what the observations actually are, the purpose of them, and a place where you can submit your reflective report, setting a milestone in your development and thinking about what you're going to do with that information next. The blogging section quite literally just contains the blog where you're going to be doing your interactive discussion. I'll take you here in a second. So if we move on the action learning set section, this is just a bit of information because, as you know, the action learning groups are very independent. So we'll give you a bit of information, but ultimately running them is up to you. And then finally we end with the 4 face-to-face workshops that you're going to be having as part of your PGCert. And if you click into each of these, what you're going to find is some information about the workshop, the particular topic, learning outcomes, the reading associated with these topics, straight out of the scheme of work. And we also end with key questions. Often I think some of the most meaningful developments that we make as teachers aren't actually tied to the more measurable outcomes. So for these questions, just have a think about them before and after each of the sessions and kind of see what's landing with you. We also have a schedule, of course, for all of the taught sessions. You've got these dates already, and we'll keep them updated if anything changes, but be aware that if you can't make a particular session, we would ask that you make a session in another college. And if you want to do that, you just need to let the tutor know who's teaching your original session and our PGCert course manager. Then the final thing on this page is a folder that's going to contain all of the slides, the handouts, the topic-specific resources from this 2-day workshop. As you can see at the moment, you can see all of these folders because they're specific to particular groups, but you will only see the folder for your group. Brilliant. So that's it for the module page at this point. Let me quickly take you through to the PGCert blog. So the blog is where you'll spend most of your time interacting online with course tutors and with other people that are on your course. So this is going to get filled up quite quickly. It's obviously very slim at the moment because there's only one post up. You can actually start your own discussion topics if you have a particular question, if you have resources you want to share. But the main way that you'll interact is that we will post a weekly blog up here, usually asking for you to do a bit of reading and comment on some of the ideas in the reading, or try something out or reflect on something particular within your own teaching practice. So let's click through to the first blog. As you can see, we're just asking you here to post up your 3 personal educational aims for the PGCert. So this is something that you've done already. You've certainly done this thinking already. And the way that you would post this up is you just look down this bottom right of the post and you just want to click reply. Simple as this. If you've got any experience using the forum function of Moodle, this is the forum function on Moodle. It's exactly the same thing. So all you need to do is type your response in here. Check that this is ticked, discussion subscription. This just means that you'll get an email response if someone comments on your post. Do tick this, it's very useful. We often want to start conversations on the blog and get debates, discussions going. So this just allows you to track how those progress. And you can also drop in files as well if you want. Later in the course we'll be asking you to create more tangible things like lesson plans. So there's just a function there. So post to forum, that will appear. All of the comments will be nested, so you should easily be able to see who's replying to you and who's starting another comment. At the moment I'm just having a conversation with myself, sad as that is. So hopefully that's all you need to know at this point about the PGCert blog, about the module page and about your course homepage. So all that remains is to wish you the best for the beginning of your course, and I'll see you online. Take care.